How is it like dating as a pastor?
Oh.
Do you tell the guys, oh, I'm a pastor? They're like, check, please, let me get out of here.
Yeah, it's happened a lot of times.
Hi everyone, welcome to Lunchin. I have Nana Serwaa here. Today we're going to chopping it up. Welcome to the channel, girl.
Thank you so much for having me.
Please tell the people.
It's been like forever, right?
Exactly, it's been a really long time. Tell the people who you are before I get started.
Oh, so my name is Nana Serwaa. I am a blogger, writer, poet. I don't even know what to say. And I am a pastor. I know that's what she's so excited for me to say.
Oh my God. Yes.
So yes, I am a pastor with ICGC Zoe Temple Community 5 Tema.
She's a pastor in one of the mega churches in Ghana. She's young, she's beautiful.
Oh,
she's
thank
creative.
You so much. Thank you so much.
She's a fashionista. She's a dog mama.
Yes.
She's a baker. I mean, like, stop me because I'm writing a resume.
I know, right?
So today we're going to ask her a lot of questions while we eat some food, you guys. And keep watching. Okay, Nana Serwaa, tell us about creating faith-based content in Ghana, because you used to, but now I don't see you anymore.
I have been lazy, yes. I have been lazy for a while, and I think I've lost a bit of my mojo because there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening. Every time I go on social media, it's like one bad news after the other, and I'm like, oh,
not today.
Let me just take a break.
Yeah.
And just take a step back from all the negativity, because I mean, this year has been crazy, but there are still some little wins that are happening, some little good things that are happening, but I think they get lost or they get overshadowed by all the negativity.
I feel like if people like really needed faith stuff, it's now.
Yeah.
Honestly,
that's true. That's really true.
There's been so much loss this year. Like there's been loss of jobs and health and people dying. And it's been quite a bit.
It's been a lot.
Has it been daunting on you just based on like the job that you do day to day, or?
Yeah, I think I have always talked about faith. Even before I became a pastor, I have always talked about faith, because I think my faith is at the core of who I am. And my faith is actually what has shaped me to be what I am or who I am today, because at the back of every decision, I had that thought that, remember, you are a child of God. Even when I was going through my rebellious stage and
you had a rebellious
I was partying, trust me, I did. I was partying and all of that. I still knew that, you know what?
It's always there.
This is who you are, and so you should be careful. I did a little bit of modeling too.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, but even when
Instagram is lit, like I'm telling you. I'll leave her link below. It's lit. I'm gonna steal her tailor, her photographer.
I know, right?
I'm stealing everybody.
Everyone.
So what is that? Like, not only are you talking about faith, but you're always like adding things about, because you're a pastor. Like, when I think about Nana is a pastor. So I'm thinking, like, are you like, how do people address you first of all? Like, if I go do some wild shit in town, where can I call Nana and be like, hey girl, listen,
of course you can call me.
Or like,
you can call me. Like, I think that the funny thing about God, if I may say funny, funny thing about God is, because he knows what the end is, even when you think this is something the enemy is doing or this is a mess, he still knows how to weave it into your story. I think God knew I was going to end up as a pastor, a young female pastor that a lot of people would look up to. And so even some of the things I did that I was like, oh my God, how could I have done this? Now a young girl can come to me and I can talk to you about it because I have been through it. I have experienced it. I'm not talking to you just because I read it in the Bible.
Right, but you know it.
But I can hold your hands and tell you that, see, this boy,
Not good for you.
Let him go.
Is it like a passion for you now? Because I see you trying to like. So here's what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
Is Nanaashanti a normal person? As in,
very.
Like, can I? Like I would say, like if there's a guy annoying me and I'm your friend, can I call you and be like, this
come
man,
and talk.
I'm gonna murder him?
Yeah, we
Or
will do all the
like,
stalking and.
Oh really?
Yeah, trust me. We will do all the stalking and the screenshotting. I mean, I'm so normal and very relatable.
Very relatable.
Very, and I get that a lot from people are related to, even in church. They're like, I'm able to talk to you because you are not like the regular pastor. And
she's not a regular pastor.
Like today, when I met the lady, she was like, oh, so what do you do? I'm like, I'm a pastor. And she was like, girl, like
isn't that a weird career path to have though?
I know. And she was like, I'm so excited, like just seeing you and you saying you're a pastor, just letting us know that Christianity shouldn't be boring. I'm like, that is the whole point. Christianity is never boring. God is not a boring God. Look at everything he's created, the colors, the shapes. Just look at it.
That is true.
How can you serve a God who is so creative and think you are supposed to be boring?
Oh my God! Like, yeah, goosebumps for real, for real.
So I am very open. I talk about everything. I talk about boys.
On her Instagram,
I talk about
it's on fire. Like every time I go on Instagram and I see Nanaashanti post, I'm like, okay, what is she wearing today? What's the style? What am I about
I know.
Your Instagram is lit, and I see that.
Thank
for me,
you.
I harassed you to come back.
I know.
I harassed everybody to create content. But I harassed her because I like that. It's so different. You're weaving like faith stuff with like you're baking and you're talking about your friends and you're talking about your dog who I love very much. You're talking about normal things.
Yeah.
For you, like, what is that like intentional to make sure that you don't seem like unapproachable or the Christendom doesn't seem intimidating?
I think for me, where my Christian walk with God really became very personal was when I was in the youth church. And the leaders I had then were so relatable, so I mean they were hip,
Your church is hip.
Thank you.
Your church is very hip.
They were very hip and so they were very approachable.
Yeah.
You could talk to them about everything. When I had my first heartbreak, it was my youth pastor I ran to cry to.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
What did he say?
I mean, of course, this will pass,
Oh my God.
you'll get through it, you look back years of time, you not even feel the pain and all of that. But that was how relatable they were. And I think there was a period where I really needed that as well, because you're growing up, all of a sudden you have boys interested in you,
that's scary.
Your body is changing. And so if you're not able to have that person that you can talk to where you know that there's no judgment, even though the person will lead me to the truth, will lead me to God, there's still no judgment here. And I can be comfortable with the person.
Do you do that in your ministry as well?
I do that. So I think that's where I always go back to.
That makes me very comfortable.
Yeah, that I had people like that guiding me. I want to do that for someone else as well.
I get it.
And I want people to know that Christianity is not so separate from everything else we do. It's in everything we do. God is everywhere. God is in everything we do. And so Christianity should be able to be in everything we do. I decided to go back to take swimming lessons because I used to do that and I stopped and all of that. So I started on Monday, and just when my instructor was teaching me all these things, go into the water, blow bubbles, try and go all the way down there and stay there. And whilst I was in the water, I was like, isn't God amazing?
Yeah.
Like, how is it possible that I'm in water and I can still breathe down there? Like, I don't know, but
right, yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So I'm like, God is everywhere, and He reminds us everywhere that He's there. And so I don't want to live a separate life where on Sundays I am a pastor, and that's where I have to talk like a pastor or walk like no.
So set the scene for me. It's Sunday. You've gone to church. I've seen some photos of you and stuff.
Yeah.
What exactly is it that you do? Like on a typical Sunday, what is like your day like?
I think every Sunday is different. If on days where I am with the youth ministry or the youth church, then I'm preaching or something. So I wake up in the morning, I go to church.
It doesn't feel like a job.
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
So you wake up, you go to work, to church.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, on weekdays too, I go to work. You know, like I go to the church. Every day is different. A bit of administrative stuff.
Okay.
A lot of following up on your church members. I take the time to write as well, because I'm in the office. I can write. Every day is different.
Do you have an office?
I do.
See, this is
I do.
My mind is blown.
I do. So I think for me it's been intentional that everything I do, I connect it with my faith. Otherwise, I would be living very different lives at different points in time.
Like Serwaa, and Serwaa church. Like you're very different.
And nothing has changed. And people who know me before I became a pastor can actually tell you nothing has really changed.
Really?
Nothing has really changed.
I feel like if I became a pastor, like everything would change.
Yeah.
Like I'll probably start wearing like head scarves and do like. Do you guys see her hairstyle?
Nah.
I'll probably start wearing like boo-boos and moo-moos, like just because.
Why?
Because there's an imagery of who a Christian woman is, like, or even a Christian leader is.
Yes.
You have to be conservative and like don't do this and don't do that and don't perm your hair and don't wear red lipstick and stuff. Like
I think I had a good example too. My mom is a pastor as well. I don't know if you know that.
Okay.
My mom is also a pastor with ICGC, and I don't know who is more fashionable than my mom.
Oh God.
I think the last time I put a picture of her on my status, and I'll see she matched her outfit down to her nail
that's where
polish.
You get it from.
That's where. And growing up, my mom would always be like, "You don't dress. You have to do this. You have to wear makeup. You have to."
Sounds like my mom.
Yeah, and my mom would buy me earrings. She'd buy me heels. She'd buy me makeup. So I see her, and I'm like, I don't have any reason to.
You can be that.
Yeah,
and be a
you can do
well.
that, and as long as you're comfortable and you know that I am decent. If I should run into my church member today, I won't feel bad.
Right.
Then that's fine. And as I said, for me, even when I was going through my rebellious stage, I've always had at the back of my mind who I was.
Right.
So even before I became a pastor, you will never catch me wearing something that I can't wear today.
Okay. So you've been like consistent through your whole life. This is
who I've always been. So for me, I think that's so. It hasn't been easy creating faith-based content. Because people want the interesting things.
Like what?
People want the fashion. People want the beauty tips. People want this. But that's not who I am.
No.
I can't give you makeup tips. Like, nah, I wouldn't ruin your life like that. So it's just. Yeah, and when I started, it was a bit, I was like, I don't think I'm getting that much audience like I want to. I don't think I'm growing the way I'm supposed to grow. And sometimes it gets very,
discouraging.
I'm putting all this effort into it and nothing is happening. But every now and then I get a DM from someone I don't even know. And the person is like, so I read this thing you wrote, and you spoke to me, and I'm like,
you're there for the people.
My job is done.
Yeah, this is it.
This is what it's about. It's
just in creating content in general. Like now, I'm doing strictly business content because I'm a business lecturer.
Yeah,
like, this is me. I used to do that stuff, the cooking, the makeup, but I'm not interested. I want to talk about like entrepreneur stuff. Like let's talk about doing interesting things. And I feel like I don't get the the audience well. But then it's like we exist for the person that needs it.
That's it. And there's always that person. Trust me, there's always that person. And so for me, that's what I look at. I always look at that person that comes back to me and says, I read this thing you wrote, and I have built friendships with people I haven't even met yet.
Yeah, we talk quite a bit.
I know.
And we met like once or twice, something like that. So
that's what keeps me going. And on days when I feel like, oh, is it even worth it? And then someone comes and says, so I want to talk to you about something. I read this thing you wrote, and I'm going through this. And I'm like, girl, like,
let's talk,
because this is what I live for.
How is it like dating as a pastor?
Oh.
Do you tell the guys, oh, I'm a pastor? They're like, check, please, let me get out of here.
Yeah, it's happened a lot of times. The minute you go like, I'm a pastor, you get the,
oh my God.
Or you get the interesting, and I have to be like, good interesting or bad interesting. And I actually thought it would have been easier, but it's harder.
It's hard.
It's harder because...
Are you dating now?
I'm not telling.
We're not getting that tea, you guys.
I'm
I tried.
Telling.
You can't tell me I didn't try. I tried, okay? But she's not married yet.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm not married yet.
So we're doing that. So here is it. Like, are you able to do certain things? Like, would you, like, if I think, okay, I'm going to a concert, and I said, well, let's go. Would you go?
Of course. It depends on what concert.
Let's say it's a Rick Ross concert.
Well, I don't know any of his songs,
so you don't want to go. But if let's say it's a Daddy Lumba concert,
I will go gladly.
Wonderful.
I will go. I think the last time I posted on my Instagram, who is bringing Wyclef to Ghana? Like,
yeah, but he has been.
Who? I don't know.
Yeah, we should probably.
And I want will.i.am. Like, I'm like, who is bringing will.i.am to Ghana? Who is bringing Jackie? Because I love my, Lovers Rock and
oh my God,
all of that.
See, everything that I thought you were, you're not.
Yeah, I mean, I love country music. So like 90% of the time, you will catch me listening to country music.
You know, Ghanaians will absolutely lose their mind if Dolly Parton came to Ghana.
I know. She needs to come to Ghana.
Ghanaians love country music.
Yeah. And I don't know anyone who loves country music and doesn't know or love Dolly. Yes. Because Dolly is like country music.
People will absolutely lose their mind. Someone needs to make it happen.
Yeah. So I do go to these concerts.
I like that.
I love Amachi Dede. So if Amachi Dede is having a concert somewhere, I would definitely show up if I had the time.
I love that.
Yeah, so I'm very normal. I go on dates.
Excuse me.
I hang out.
Excuse me.
I think I'm very normal. I'm your normal young lady, so it's not really different.
Do you feel like because like you're a pastor, you have to toe a line? Because I don't feel like if there's a line to toe, I don't think you toe the line at all. I'm like, do you feel pressured though? Like, people are gonna see me this way, and if you were to wear maybe long stiletto red nails, people are gonna be like, ooh, what is going on?
Is it like, as I said, I haven't really changed. I've never been a nails person,
I get it.
never. Okay. But I love my red lipstick, and so I will show up in red lipstick.
Exactly.
I love my heels. I would show up in heels.
Yeah.
I love my jeans. I would show up in them. I love all these nice African prints made into beautiful dresses.
Oh, nice dresses.
So I will wear them. So I don't know, it hasn't really changed for me. Even before I became a pastor, I dated a certain way, and I think I still date that same way, because I knew that I can't marry a certain
Right.
Yeah, it's always been
in the back of your mind.
It's not because now I'm a pastor, so it has to change or it has to be different. It's always been something I was intentional about, and so it hasn't really changed.
So what do you have to say to those of us who are like making our way back to God? Because like I was telling you before, I stopped going to church because after a while, when I started working, I didn't have to do chores anymore because I'm an adult. One of the things that I stopped doing as a chore was going to church, because it was a routine. Saturday you wash your clothes, Sunday you go to church. And now I don't have to wash my clothes on Saturday anymore. So I have to go to church.
I get
so I'm kind of like making I've been talking and reading and so what is it, the word that you say for those of us like on the journey, even trying to figure out if there's a God or not? You know, like those that are trying to figure their way back to their faith. Like, what do you say to us?
I think first and foremost, it's a journey. It's a personal journey. It's never the same for two people. Even in how God relates to us, it's always a very personal, and you know, it's personalized because it's you. If I always tell people this, I don't think Paul was the only Jew that was persecuting Jesus, but he was the only one that had an encounter because it needed to happen for him. Because Paul was a lawyer, he was very argumentative, like he would ask questions. And so God had to give him something that he couldn't question anymore. You have to get to the point where you look at your faith or your relationship with God beyond the church and make it personal. What do I want from my walk with God, or what do I intend to let happen with my relationship with God? I have been there before where I was going to church simply because my mother was a pastor. I mean, I was just going through the motion. Right? But at a point in time, I was asking God, you need to give me a personal encounter. Peter was able to come back to you after he had denied you and everything because you had called him to walk on water. That was his personal experience. Nobody can take that from him. Paul has that. His way to Damascus experience is his.
Personal.
I didn't have anything personal. All I had was what I've been taught through Sunday school. And so I asked God for that. Like, give me my personal experience, something I can hold on to, so that if someone comes to tell me there's no God, I can be like, that's a lie, because I have encountered this, and so I know that is why there's God. We don't have to change. Like, look at the people he called. Peter had a temper,
and Paul was
I know. Look at David. I mean, a naughty man.
Naughty man.
But God says, well, I want you, and you are the one I want to use. So as I was going through that journey of finding a personal experience, reading the Bible and all that, I think God became personal to me.
I like that.
And so now I know him beyond the rules people have made for religion. I know him beyond, you can't wear trousers because you're female. Like, God doesn't really care about that. And so for me, that's what I tell people who feel like, you know, I always tell them, try to look for God beyond the church. Try to find him on a personal level. Seek that. Read your Bible. And the thing is, you don't need to understand. I tell people, don't go to the Bible with understanding, or go to the Bible knowing what you are looking for. Just read it. And you'll be surprised, even the scripture you have heard over and over and over again,
it might not be the accurate.
All of a sudden you're like, woo, like, how come I've been reading it this way all this? Because you're just reading it not for yourself. So there's no judgment in questioning.
I feel like I'm having an awakening.
Questioning. I think we all go through that. We all go through that. I mean, David has been there before, where he was wondering, like, hey, what's going to happen to me? Like, who am I that you are even mindful of me? I think that question, everybody, at some point in time, you would have to question it. Like, what exactly is going on in my relationship with God? Like, is there even a relationship? What am I even after? If not, then you will be going through the motion. And trust me, a lot of people are doing that, just going to church because it's something I have to do. You know, I grew up knowing that every Sunday I have to go to church, and most people will go through it like that till the end.
Well, guys, you better not go through that, because you've heard it. You heard Nanaashanti. She said a whole lot about coming just as you are in her job, her career, how she's going through it. You're gonna keep being a pastor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. You're gonna keep being a pastor because when I texted you, I was like, are you still a pastor?
I know, right?
2 years, girl. Have you changed your mind yet? She's like, no.
I haven't.
I'm still a pastor. So, I mean, I really enjoyed the conversation and just I'm enlightened now a lot more. And I hope everybody that's watching this can get that from it. Tell us where we can find you though. When you start up again, where can we find your Instagram, your Facebook, wherever?
I think for now I'm very, very active on Instagram. Serwaa _ that's my handle. Yeah, I think for now Facebook I hardly go on Facebook because my mom won't let me have peace on Facebook. She's everywhere. I'm like, let me just leave Facebook for you now. Right. So my grandma is on Facebook. That's when I knew I had to leave.
So wait for you back, Zuckerberg. I mean, just use your other app. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you for talking with us, guys. We are Kiki Bees in East Legon. If you come to Ghana, if you're hanging around Accra, make sure you come check them out. It's a very good art space, as you can see here. The food is like great. So we'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.